I'm legally insane. Should I blow my balls off now or later? And last night, I made a little trip downtown like I do every single Friday night. Back of the 7-Eleven right behind the dumpster. That's where John Bunday's mother is. Whole town knows where to find her, buddy. She there every night. I brought $10 with me. 69 seconds later, I walked out of there with a bunch of brand new retro game pickups. Every single game in this list. 110% certified banger. One of the games fell down, so I've probably broken. This is your last warning. You're going to want to grab a pair of adult diapers, extra large, extra absorbent. You're going to want to get your gun loaded, 6 bolts in the chamber. You're going to be using all 6 bolts. I could just about guarantee you that, because you're about to blow your balls off. So let's go ahead and get started. The year is 2026, and today it's your lucky day. I'm taking you on a trip back to the 90s. What a time to be alive. The 90s will be forever known as the last truly great decade. Those that grew up in the 90s, they already know. Those that were even just alive during the 90s, they also know. They know what I'm talking about. And it was also a decade where every new next generation console actually felt like a generational leap. That magic that we had back then with these new console generations, that magic is gone. The leaps don't feel the same. Everyone knows it's happening. It's not to say the graphics aren't improving, but it doesn't feel the same. Going from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32 and 64-bit. Those were incredible leaps. And even to the 128-bit Sega Dreamcast, still in the 90s. Every jump was just as mind-blowing as the previous one. Every jump truly felt significant. And I think that magic is gone. In my last video, I told you the year 2026 would be the year of retro games. So today I thought, well, what better way to start the new year than to start off with a retro game pickups video? Show you some of my newer pickups. I've got a backlog of like 300 games that will eventually make it into these videos. That also includes Nintendo Switch games. But not only am I going to show you these games, we're going to play some of these games too. We're going to play them live for the very first time. Some of these games I've never touched. I've never played. Haven't even tried them yet. And some of these games I've been waiting to play and own for almost my entire life. So let's go ahead and get started with what I'm going to call the biggest hitter of them all. Because I don't think too many people know about this game. And I know it's been out for, 35 years? I don't know. At least 35 years. On the button, there are 36 years this game's been out. But even to this day, not many people know about it. It's one of the biggest hidden gems on the Super Nintendo. This is Ignition, backed by Jalico game. They make good games. And it's unfortunately they don't exist anymore as far as I know. Maybe somebody bought them out. but they made a lot of great games. I think they even made Peacekeepers, if I'm not mistaken. That was a great beat 'em up. Well, this is not a beat 'em up, and this came out in 1995. And this is what you call the literal definition of a true hidden gem. A game that has not gotten the respect it deserves. However, that has been changing and its popularity is growing. It's a very unique game. You play as a firefighter, like 100% a firefighter. This isn't like Mario, you're jumping on turtles and jumping on Goombas and picking up stars, but you're a firefighter. Like Mario was a plumber. This is a firefighter. No, no, no. You're a firefighter fighting fires and rescuing people. Like a simulation game, almost like an early simulation game. But it's not a simulation game. It is still an action game. Each level consists of multiple rooms, areas, or building floors where players explore, extinguish fires. You are a firefighter. You are going into burning buildings and extinguishing the flames, and you are rescuing trapped citizens. Almost like in that regard, it's related to Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. That you're rescuing people, and you have to rescue a certain amount of people to beat the mission. The player is also given the option to select your primary and secondary equipment loadouts, which you will want to utilize for each stage. And this is equal to selecting your weapons had this been a standard action game where you're fighting enemies. Well, in this game, your enemy is the fire. Primary equipment consists of an oxygen mask and tank, as well as 3 types of fire extinguishers. And those are used for different types of fires. Secondary equipment consists of a firefighter's axe, a rope, a metal pole, which you'll use to reveal holes in the floor, plastic explosives that you can use to, say, blow up a wall, and also CO2 bombs that you can, it's a grenade, CO2 bombs that you can use to extinguish large areas of fire. So it's very much like an action game. You have all of these weapons, we'll call them, but instead of fighting humans or robots or aliens, you're fighting a fire. The game did get, pretty decent reviews back in the day, everything from average to great. Electronic Gaming Monthly's 4 reviewers gave it their Game of the Month award, commenting that the game is an excellent test of the player's wits. The graphics are impressive, and the numerous ways to solve each problem ensures that every playthrough is unique. GamePro Serenade gave it a far more mixed review, criticizing the graphics as average. The voice is annoying, and the controls are very touchy. I have heard that before, by the way. Some people have complained about controls, while others have actually given the controls very high scores. Sarah then concluded that the Ignition Factor is a relatively fun strategy game. Well, I like to look at what the gamers said back in the day on GameFAQ. This was a very popular website back in the day. It's not as popular now. It's basically a time machine. It's a snapshot in time. So these reviews were made there's only 2, just to show you how unknown this game is for starters. Proof of the hidden gem status. We've got a 10 out of 10 from a 2002 review and an 8 out of 10 from a 1999 review. So this game would have been 5 years old when this guy wrote that review. A fireman action game, I'm there because this was so unique at the time and still is. There's not very many firefighter games out there, even to this day. And some of them suck. Some of them are shovelware. There's one on the Nintendo Wii, and I'm pretty sure it's shovelware. Now, I almost forgot I wanted to show you the chart on Ignition Factor. Like I said, price is going up. Close to all-time highs currently at about $42 US for a loose cart. Complete in box price ain't too bad considering how rare this game would be. $112. Canadian dollars, you're looking at about $60, round up 58.50. Recent sold listings, some idiot paid $100, but I mean, who am I to judge? He just paid that on January 2nd. I mean, who am I to judge? Oh, it came with the box. Okay. So hey, sometimes there's some idiots out there. I was gonna say, who am I to judge? Maybe it was mint condition and maybe it was just bad timing. There's nothing else available. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes, maybe there's 5 copies on eBay. And just by pure coincidence, all 5 sell within a short period of time. Somebody's got a price a copy that's been sitting on there for double the price, just kind of hoping and waiting, see if the price goes up, see if they get lucky, see if they get some idiot that buys it, and some idiot comes along and buys it. I've seen it happen. It's rare, like it's rare, but it happens. And I've done it myself actually. I sold a $50 DS game for 125 once, and it was a miracle. I threw it up for 125 thinking, okay, well, I think the price is gonna go up anyway. So I'm just gonna list it now. It doesn't cost anything to list it. And I thought I'll just let it sit and I'll wait for the market to come to me because the game was uh, going to 125 long term anyway. So I figured, if it sits for 5 years, it sits for 5 years. I don't care. It sits for 1 or 2 years, however long it takes. And somebody ended up buying it. Guys, I messed up. I forgot to mention the first pickup. Before I even showed you the games, I want to show you that I got a Retron 5. It literally just arrived the other day. I ordered it brand new on Amazon. This is not the ugly beach colored one that I wouldn't be cut dead having that thing in my collection. It's so ugly. Ugliest thing I ever seen in my entire life. And you might be wondering, why did you get a Retron 5? Don't you have a Super Nintendo, a Sega Genesis, a Game Boy Advance, what else does it play? NES. Don't you have all these? Like I see all the NES games back then. Of course you have a Super Nintendo. Of course you do. Yeah, you're right. Of course I have a Super Nintendo. What do you think this is? What do you think I'm retarded or something? You think I have an IQ under 69? Of course I have a Super Nintendo. But I didn't buy this for the Super Nintendo capabilities. I didn't buy it for the Sega Genesis. I bought it because it plays Game Boy Advance games on your television. So that alone makes it worth it. And yeah, you can do it on the Game Boy player on the GameCube as well, but that's also very expensive. So I get more bang for my buck going this route than the Game Boy Advance player with the CD route, which the prices on those are going up, by the way. The Game Boy Advance player, that disc only, the disc alone costs you an arm and a leg these days. So I went the Retron 5 route because I have all the other consoles that come with it. I can bring it over to a friend's house. It's an all-in-one machine, very simplistic for doing that, which I do from time to time. And I had 2 NES consoles and they both broke. So this will be replacing my NES console, and I know that there are some flaws, like the colors aren't quite the same. I think it's using emulation. You put the game in, but it's using some sort of emulation. So I know it's not the same, but I'll be using it for those 2 Game Boy Color, or mostly Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and NES. Because I also have a Super Game Boy, which I could also use for Game Boy. Might even probably prefer that, but we're gonna try it out. We're gonna be trying this Retron 5 today. Hopefully it works. Because I got a whole bunch of games we're gonna be playing. But I'm very excited to play Game Boy Advance games. I've been collecting for the Game Boy Advance rather heavily, mostly in the last 1 year. Push it out further, about 2 years. It's a console that I ignored when I was younger. or ignored mostly my whole life. And it wasn't until I got older when I realized it's basically the Game Boy Advance is nothing more than a Super Nintendo. It's a Super Nintendo, and it's got so there's all these new Super Nintendo games that I've never had the chance to play or that I didn't know about. So I'm new to this collecting for the Game Boy Advance, and I'm well aware that the prices are going up and they have been going up. So unfortunately, I got in a little bit late. Whereas with the Super Nintendo and all these other consoles, Xbox 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii, I've always tried to get in as early as possible because the prices are going up. And I've been encouraging my subscribers for years now, get them while they're cheap. Well, there's a lot of Game Boy Advance games that are still cheap today, and but every year that passes, they're getting more and more expensive. And there's good games that you can get for reasonable prices right now today. And by the way, yeah, I do have a Game Boy Advance, but I can't play on the TV, like the handheld. And also, I don't have the one with the backlit screen. So the Retron 5 solves that. And there you can also do save states as well. That's another huge bonus. But I'm not sure if you can use the Game Genie. So let's move on to game number 2. This is the most interesting of all the games. And I'll tell you why. This is Battletoads for the Game Boy, OG Game Boy. You might be thinking, well, why'd you get that? Don't you have it for the NES? Because look at that cover. Is that not the same as the NES? And the answer is yes, it is the same. And I always thought it was the same as the NES game, but it's not. It's a 100% completely different game, unrelated, brand new. So they really messed up on the cover, and that probably affected their sales back in the day. Because hell, I might have bought this back in the day. But I didn't know. I thought it was the NES game. So to my surprise, when I popped it in to try it, because I've already tried it, I was shocked. 'Cause like I said, I didn't know until I actually put it in my Game Boy, handheld, and I played this thing like you wouldn't believe. It is so fun. It's b I mean, I don't know if I wanna say it's better than the NES version, but in some ways it is, only because the NES version is impossible to beat for the average person, right? I could never beat that version. But this version, what makes this version so beautiful, and it might even be two-player with a link cable, I'll have to look into that, I forgot if it even gave me the option. What makes this game so beautiful is that it's hard, yes, or it gets hard, but it's beatable. It's not impossible. In fact, when my first time playing it, I felt like I could beat it. I hear it gets really hard toward the end, but I honestly felt like I could beat the game on my first try. So I don't know, maybe I'm just really good at Battletoads. We'll see. We're gonna play it again. Let's look at the chart on this one. Um, price is going up. Price is going up. It's been stuck in a trading range for a while. Currently trades for 20 US dollars, 20.41, 2041. Loose card only, which is about 28.41 Canadian, round up 30 bucks. $30 game. And that's if you can get it for that price. Sold listings, yeah, going as high as $36 as of a couple days ago. Fairly common for selling wise. It's not a rare game by any means. And it's safe to say that it's just kind of in a trading range right now. A lot of resistance at that 23 US dollar level. Yeah, 20 it's hit 22, round up $23 about 3 times and has never been able to break through that. You can see, trading range. But this is a pretty good price. Like, this is a fair price for the gameplay that you're getting and the quality of the game that you're getting and the length of the game that you're getting. I think it's a good deal. If you were interested in buying the game today, I would say you're gonna get your money's worth. I had a good time with it. Loved it. Speaking of Game Boy, now game number 3. a Game Boy Advance title that for the very first time I will be playing on the television. I've already played it on my handheld Game Boy Advance. This is Ghost Rider. This is a very recent pickup. Got it on eBay, and I paid with taxes $35.83 Canadian. I'll put a picture on the screen of that purchase. I ordered it, December 10th. Dang. Yeah, this was a really recent pickup because it would have arrived probably around Christmas or right after Christmas. Once again, this is another good one with a really nice chart. Currently trades for 30 Canadian dollars. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what I paid. Market value plus tax, probably free shipping. That's $21 US. And this is a good chart because anytime it had a parabolic move, which looks like maybe a late COVID move. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know if I necessarily want to call that a COVID move. Late 2021. The initial move was, yeah, early 2020. But regardless, it had a parabolic move. Maybe a YouTuber, big name YouTuber, Metal Jesus, gave this game a shout out. And with most parabolic moves, the game came down in price after. But also with most parabolic moves, it never goes back down to the old low. So the old low before the move was round up 10 US dollars, and she dipped as low as 12, which is a 20% increase. And she's been going back up ever since. So when you see these so-called crashes and you see the YouTubers that have no idea what they're talking about, have no idea about retro games, they just repeat what some other YouTuber told them that doesn't know how to do research, doesn't know how to look at the charts, doesn't know how the markets work, doesn't know how supply and demand works, doesn't know the difference between a rare game and a common game, has no idea about actual real collectors and collecting in general. They'll tell you, "Oh, it's crashing. It's going back down. The whole market's crashing. There's no way. Why would anybody pay $25 for Ghost Rider, one of the best Game Boy Advance games on the entire console?" You know, there's a million games better, but this is still better than the other million games of bad games on the Game Boy Advance. Really good game, in fact. And yeah, it's going back up. PS2 version's going up too. Both games are very similar. I know I'm jumping around, but just let's look at the chart first. PS2 version's going up. Complete hidden gem. I've talked about Ghost Rider before. Nothing new. Action game, vehicle driving stages. Every other stage is a vehicle driving stage to break up the monotonous gameplay. Very fun, God of War style game. In the PS2 version, you can even unlock Blade, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you can do that in the Game Boy Advance version, but what this is an action game. Side scroller beat 'em up action game. It is a 100% hidden gem. As seen in the chart, it's gaining popularity every month that passes. Game Boy Advance is becoming more collectible every month that passes. It is also a game that got poor reviews at the time of its initial release. I believe the PS2 version was the same, if my memory is correct. But now the market has woken up. They know that Ghost Rider is a good game, and people are flooding in. Gamers are flooding in to buy it. Collectors are flooding in to buy it. People like me are buying Retron 5s to play it on the television. Like, how incredible is that, playing Game Boy Advance on your television with a controller in your hand? I've never, I don't know if a Super Nintendo controller will work or not. Maybe I have to use the darn Retron controller. We'll find out. I just assumed I could use the Super Nintendo controller, but I actually don't know. Ghost Rider on the Game Boy Advance is it's a side-scrolling version of the PS2 game. It's that simple. What I love about both games is that there are RPG elements. In the Game Boy Advance version, you collect orbs and you use those orbs to upgrade your ability. So you choose what you want to upgrade. Like an RPG, you're leveling up by collecting orbs or money, currency, and then you're purchasing the new abilities and upgrades that you want. And there's also driving stages. It's like Road Rash, a mix of Road Rash and like a shooter stage because you can shoot fireballs out of your vehicle. So yeah, a great game. And I'll be honest with you, I had trouble on the first boss. I don't know. I might just suck at the game, but that first boss is hard. And I think I was on easy mode. It's been a while since I played it. I probably played it like right before Christmas was the last time I touched it. So I'm gonna give it a go again though. And I'm gonna try to beat that friggin' boss. Game number 4 is Blackthorn. I already showed you this in my last video, but it has to make it into a pickup video. And this is a pickup video. This is on the Super Nintendo, but I found out a few new things about this game. It's classified as an action platformer, and it was developed by Blizzard Entertainment. I did verify that. Developed by Blizzard, but published by Interplay and released in 1994. It was also released on the PC as well. And the very famous comic book writer and artist, Jim Lee, did the cover art. And as soon as I read that, I said, holy hell. I mean, just look at that cover art. That screams classic Jim Lee. So Blackthorn itself plays similar to and was inspired by games like Another World and Flashback. The difference between Another World and Flashback is that Blackthorn it's actually better. Blackthorn is arguably better for starters, but more importantly, Blackthorn has better play control, less puzzles, and more action. So have a quick look at the chart. Nothing too fancy going on. You can see, a very, what was that? Oh, 10, 15 plus year bull market that the game was in. Currently we're kind of just going sideways, nothing too special going on. Bit of a trading range. Has not been able to break that $60 level. Currently trades for 48.82, so about $50. I paid up to get this one. I got into a bidding war with somebody, but I still got a good deal because I didn't pay tax. I paid 67 Canadian dollars, no tax, and it trades for about 68 Canadian dollars, and that doesn't include condition though. Try getting and paying that price on eBay with shipping with good condition. It's going to be very difficult. Condition is such a huge factor with these retro games where the labels need to be in good condition. You can't case swap them, right? On a Wii game, a 360 game, as long as the artwork is still in good condition, you can just case swap. You can't do that with a retro game. You can't label swap. The game got, pretty good reviews back in the day, nothing overly special. Electronic Gaming Monthly gave the Super Nintendo version their Game of the Month award, praising its dark tone, amazingly smooth animation, complex and intelligent gameplay, and the ability to kill prisoners after getting information from them. That would have been a bit of a shock factor back then. Nowadays we got games like The Punisher, which hell, that'll even shock you today, actually. They don't make games like that no more. But this reminds me of The Punisher a little bit. This is like the shock factor is there, similar to when The Punisher came out, where you could torture, you could interrogate via the torture method and kill the people that you interrogate in the most brutal ways possible. I mean, you don't even have to interrogate them. I think you just kill them. But you can interrogate And they'll give you information, legitimate information in the Punisher for the PS2 OG Xbox. Well, this is almost like, maybe Punisher was inspired by this. That's the vibe I got. That's what got me thinking. So here's another interesting thing. The game has 17 levels with 4 areas. 4 different areas. There's the mines, the forests and swamps, the wasteland, desert, and the Shadow Keep. But what I learned today that I didn't know before is that there's actually a 3DX version of Blackthorn. Here it is right here. Very expensive. It's got to be super rare. They must have had a crazy low print run considering this was a failed console. But also, this is a very special version. This 3DX version has a 100% exclusive level, exclusive area, a bonus 5th area, the Snowy Mountains, which is not found in any other versions of the game. So it is a 100% exclusive to the Sega 32X. And look at that chart, guys. That's a $300, 300 Canadian dollar roundup loose cart for Blackthorn. In US dollars, $199.99. $200 US dollar game. 3 sold listings in the last just over a month. No, not even. No, yeah, just over a month. Game number 5. Believe it or not, Kirby's Adventure for the NES. Believe it or not, I have never owned this game in my entire life. Never in my entire life. I've played it. I mean, it's Kirby. And on top of that, there's a million ways to play it, including the Kirby collection on the Nintendo Wii. Probably the NES Mini, which I don't have. I would imagine that had Kirby on it. I first played this game at a friend's house. He must have got it for Christmas or something like that. He invited me over. And this game was truly like one of the best on the console. It's such a unique idea. It was an original idea at the time. I mean, they were the first to do it, as far as I know, where you could literally steal your enemy's abilities. I mean, that's the entire gimmick of Kirby. I don't care. Nobody cares about floating in the air and sucking up enemies and spitting them out. That's not why you play Kirby. Nobody gives a crap about that. Unless you're playing Smash Brothers. Nobody cares. All they care about in the entire like gameplay loop is get to the next level to find the new enemies that you can eat and trying out their powers. The whole gimmick is testing out these cool new powers and like finding your favorite ones. And even the ones that suck, oh well, it's about trying them because it's cool that you can even do that and finding out what you can get from each enemy. That's the whole gimmick. It was no different than what was that? The mirror Kirby mirror game. I forget the title offhand. I have that on Nintendo Wii U. I got pretty far. It's like a Metroidvania Kirby game. The other thing about Kirby games is they've always been easy. They're all beatable. Like anybody can beat a Kirby game, especially. I mean, this is probably the easiest of all the Kirby games, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Is the Game Boy one even easier? You don't even have to fight the enemies. You can just float through the stage and go straight to the exit. And that part I've never liked. And I even picked up on that when I was younger. How old was I? 7 years old, something like that. When I was playing Kirby's Adventure. Even back then I knew. I picked up on it right away. I said, "Oh, this is it's too easy. It's kind of dumb that you can skip through the level." I did it once and I said, that wasn't fun. Like if you do that, then it's not fun. Like I said, the whole gimmick is to try all the abilities. You take that out of the game, it's not fun. All right, so I'm hooking up this Retron 5, charging the piece of junk controller that they give you. Hopefully I don't have to use that. We're going to find out. I'm actually really nervous about that. But I see that they have all these ports for other controllers, like the Super Nintendo. So I'm going to plug that in and see if it'll work with Game Boy Advance games, because I'm not playing Game Boy Advance with this. We're testing out the Retron 5 with Battletoads for the Game Boy. I was unable to get Ghost Rider to work. I'm sorry. I don't know if the game needs to be cleaned. I played fine on my standard Game Boy Advance, and also it had trouble bringing the save file that already exists on that game over, because it brought up a loading screen and it wasn't loading. So maybe there's an issue with that game with the Retron 5. I don't know. I'll try it again in the future, but I just was not able to get her going. So we're passing on Ghost Rider today. We're going straight to Battletoads. And at least it's working so far. Yeah, definitely. That's good music. Pretty good music for a Game Boy. 1991. Alright guys, I think I got it fixed. I just had to switch my controller port. I was in port 2. Maybe that brought me bad luck with the... Okay, so where's the jump button? Jump, 2 buttons. Oh, give me that axe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got the standard headbutt and a OP axe. See if we can headbutt this guy. Nice. This game is really good for a Game Boy game. You gotta remember that. So your headbutt's not very strong. I remember not even trying and I got really far. Like I wasn't necessarily going out of my way to really try and not get hit and stuff. I wonder if you can go up instead of... There might be multiple directions that you can go perhaps. Down versus up. I'm gonna go up. Holy, that guy took almost my entire health bar. Are you kidding me? Is this guy even beatable? Holy. Looks pretty good on this, on the TV screen. Like you gotta remember, when I first played this, it was on a regular Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. Very small screen. And for being blown up to the size that, oh, this guy is so friggin' annoying. Okay, what's his pattern? 1, 2, 3. Hit him, oh, frig. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and then you smack him and then you run. Oh, you gotta give him a combo. One full combo, he might die maybe. Oh, dang. I'm telling you, I did better the first time around. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice cheap little combo going on. Oh, is he hitting me every time he lands on the ground like that? I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was doing damage. I would have jumped. I didn't know. First vehicle stage coming up. Wrap with the rat rocket. Was I supposed to hit that? Oh, it's a shoot 'em up. That's crazy. I don't even remember this. Like, I kid you not, I did play this, but it was a while ago. And I know I got far. I just don't know what level I got to. I think that's just a checkpoint. Oh, dang, that did a lot of damage. Gotta really be careful not to get hit. Yep. I remember this. And even the harder stages, none of them are ever as hard as the NES or the Super Nintendo. Dang it. But even for stage 2, I mean, a little kid playing this, a little 6-year-old would probably have trouble with it. But they can get good. You gotta remember, when you were 6 years old and you kept playing the same game over and over again, you got good at it. I know I beat this, I can guarantee that. I got really far. And I turned the game off when I was playing. I think I could have kept going till I beat it. Yep. Oh no! Oh, you son of a bitch! Okay, so you gotta, here's the tip. I just learned it. You gotta be at the very back of the screen. That was my problem. And now that I know that, I'm gonna fix this and we're gonna beat it. Oh yeah, yep. Easy, bitch. Easy. First try. Oh, you can charge up your shot, like Mega Man. I didn't know that. That's cool. Although this guy's annoying, it might just be easy not to charge up your shot. There we go. Very cool stage, man. Whoops, oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely having a charge shot on this level is the way to do it. Dang it! Loving the shoot 'em up stage though. Better than most shoot 'em ups out there. Okay, you know, I'm not doing the charge up shot no more. What a piece of garbage. Dang it. I'm telling you, I must have done much better the first time I played this. I'm telling you. And also I'm learning it's better to just avoid these guys rather than trying to shoot them all. Dodging is more important than shooting. Nice. Oh, come on. Easy, boss. Easy. Easy. Oh, dang. No, not so easy. Dang it! Alright, that's it. Now I'm getting pissed off. Yeah, that charge shot is garbage, man, I'm telling you. Look how easy it is when you stop using the charge shot. What a useless piece of junk. And I didn't even know you could do a charge shot. That's why I did so much better my first playthrough. That's, what is that, fire on the ground? Yeah, figured. Oh, yeah, and it does a lot of damage. You do not want to touch that fire. Oh, you gotta get them when they're in the ground like that. Oh, you gotta kick them, I think. That's what you gotta do. Yeah, see? I didn't know that. You gotta jump over the fire. Smash those guys in the ground and then kick their heads in. That's a tornado. You fight it. And don't touch the fire. Oh my gosh. Okay, you gotta be really careful platforming here. I think you're supposed to do a run and jump. Oh, except not there when the enemy's there. Yeah, you gotta do a run and jump sometimes to avoid the fire. Nice. The platforming is harder than it looks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that, what was that, 5 lives in a row? That was 3 or 4 lives in a row. Spawning me above the death drop. I'm telling you, I beat that level before. I already know I beat that level before. Gonna give you a little taste of some Blackthorn. Super Nintendo. Blizzard Entertainment 1994. How incredible is that? Before, what is this, before Warcraft? No. Probably around the same time as Warcraft. But definitely before StarCraft. Alright, we're gonna go to a new game. I did the practice mode. Kinda got the basics. Oh, I forget the jump button. There we go, yeah. Oh, there might be a secret down there. No. A is draw your weapon. You gotta memorize that. You cannot climb ledges with a weapon in your hand. Oh, how did I do that rolling? That's new. That's cool. Okay, good to know. Chosen one? Nope. If you can rescue these guys, I don't know how to do it. I will try to shoot him though. I put him out of his misery. He, I was not expecting that. I feel bad for doing that. I think these guys are good guys. Save yourself while there is still time. Dang, man, that's brutal. 1994, they're letting you shoot hostages that are on your team? Head with a headshot? Chained up? Dang. I'm not sure if there's consequences to doing that either. Okay, here's items on the ground. These are bombs. Good to know. I can throw them with the X button. Nice. Son of a bitch. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna try to do a leap across. Nope, too far. What else is down here? Oh, no, you can make it. Okay, yeah, you gotta get good at the platforming. Pretty cool game, man. I am rather impressed. I feel bad for killing those hostages, though. How do I get down there? Rescued this guy at least. Let's see what he says. Free at last. Take this potion, brother. Thank you, friend. I killed your buddies, though. I'm sorry about that. You gotta admit that was funny, though. The fact that they let you do that, and on a Super Nintendo, when, you know, Nintendo was known for a little bit more censorship. Okay, so I'm gonna try to make that leap. Oh, I messed up bad. Uh-oh. Oh, dang. I think there's something up there. It's gotta be. No, I guess not. Oh, I didn't even notice that guy. That was my bad. Frig! Oh, you can shoot behind you. Did you see that? I didn't know you could do that. Oh, that's cool. So orc shows up behind you, you're going the wrong direction, you don't need to turn around. You just gotta shoot behind you. Now the platforming is going to... Ah, it takes some getting used to. Dang it. Hopefully I can get back up there. So I think they've got this here because they're trying to teach you the timing on when you hit the jump button. Now, actually, if I was playing with my Retron 5, maybe I should have used the Retron 5 for this. I could do a save state. It lets you use the Super Nintendo controller. Okay, here's our first password. That's all I needed. To escape bombs, it is better to avoid them than to be nimble. Interesting, okay. Thanks for the advice, brother. Whoa, better to avoid them than to be nimble. Well, yeah, how are you supposed to avoid it? Oh, you gotta jump? You gotta jump over it? Oh, dang it. Screw that guy. I'm trying to learn how to jump over your bombs. Alright. Pretty good game, guys. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. I'm really enjoying it. I think I could beat the game start to finish. I don't know how many hours it'll take, though. I'd be very curious to know. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to over 9,000 subscribers. On my way to collecting over 9,000 retro games. And I want to give a shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. Thank you so much, guys. Your support keeps the channel going. All the subscribers, everyone that leaves a comment, constructive feedback. I'm always looking for constructive feedback. And a lot of you guys out there, you do give constructive feedback and have given ideas for the channel. If you have ideas for videos, do not hesitate to write a comment or even email me. Somebody emailed me once. Shout out to the guy that emailed me about Nintendo DS game prices going up. He said, "Hey, why don't you start a series on Nintendo DS prices?" And you know what? I am going to start it. I know it's been a long time. This guy's been waiting a long time. Whoever sent that email, if you're still watching, I know I told you I would do it, and I am going to do it. Don't you worry, buddy, because this is the year 2026 when I'm going to be branching out to other consoles for my game prices series. And I'm going to be doing everything from Super Nintendo to Game Boy Advance to Nintendo DS, 3DS. Like, I'm just going to start doing all the consoles because that's what keeps me interested, keeps me motivated to make the videos. Like, when I wake up and I make this video, I choose what to make based on what I feel like making. Because I don't want this to feel like a friggin' job. Like, there's a lot of editing, in some cases, a lot of research involved. When I do the pricing videos, I do a lot of research. I spend a lot of hours on this stuff, and I don't wanna get burned out. That's the word I'm looking for. And so to avoid burnout, I constantly switch up what I'm doing. I do Nintendo Switch here in this channel too, if you're new to the channel. And that's also, it's one, I love the Switch, but two, it's how I keep things fresh. If you're a content creator yourself, you will understand. You gotta keep things fresh to avoid burnout. You gotta do what you enjoy. Well, today I wanted to talk about retro games because that's what I'm in the mood to talk about. That's what I'm really enjoying right now. I'm really having fun playing these old games, like diving in deep. Games like Blackthorn, games like Battletoads, games like Ignition Factor. My rental store didn't even have this back in the day. Rogers Video, Blockbuster Video, Jumbo Video. I never saw this game. And if I did, I guess I ignored it because it looks like a firefighter. I don't know. Maybe I looked at the back and I said, "Oh, you're a firefighter? What do you mean you're not killing aliens with guns? What do you mean it's not Final Fantasy? 100-hour gameplay. What do you mean there's no Nobu Umatsu RPG music?" Like, I don't know. That's what I would have said back in the day if I saw it. Thanks a lot for the support, everyone. Join the Patreon. I post exclusive videos every month, every single month, and I will have another video out. I'm hoping to have one out maybe next week for the month of January. My last video I posted was on on New Year's Eve. I barely made the deadline. I literally posted it New Year's Eve, the evening, the night of New Year's Eve. I'm pretty sure it was New Year's Eve. So there is a January video coming out. I'll probably film that once my cold starts to go away. Maybe next week.
Yeah. Oh, mama, blowing in the cartridge, man, this ain't a flute. Duck hunt, quick draw, zapper on mute. Pixel dreams in the box, stack them high like loot. But these prices going up, feeling less astute. Got Mario in the tux, he's swinging like Sinatra. Gold coins in my pocket, I'm the Koopa Don Dada. The thrift store finds now cost more than Prada. Turn my basement into Wall Street, the NES saga. NES flex, diapers on deck. Playing all night, never hit reset. NES stacks, ain't no regrets. Prices going crazy, but we still collect. Joystick tap dance, baseline bop. Contra running loops, up, don't stop. Zelda's gold car clothes, treasure in the shop. But the tag on the box got me yelling, what the guap? Used to cop 'em for a 10, now they 45. Vintage dreams, keep my childhood alive. Rocking adult diapers, man, I'm built to survive. Pause the game for nothing, even nature gets denied. Flip through the manual, art on the page. Feels like jazz, every note, every stage. The cartridge spins stories, the consoles are sage. We the kings of 8-bit and NES is the age.